Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hot Mic. I am your host. This is a weekly fun and loose panel show. Each week we have our CWL Global Pro League players join me. We've got 4 teams and 4 guys with me this week. First up, we've got Royalty, the new guy to Enigma 6. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is, your first Hot Mic with us? I believe we had General on last time.
Oh, yeah, Jordan was here last time, so I just kind of got thrown onto this. So, I mean, I'm down to do it, but...
I brought you in. I'm excited to have you, man. You're the new guy in. We'll be talking about the team for sure. And then battling their way into Stage 2 was Spacely. You guys had one hell of a run. We'll talk more about that, but how you doing, pal?
Doing good, feeling great. You know, just ready to play and compete.
It's going to be a great weekend. I'm excited to get the matches going. And as we move down, Enable, we've known each other since, what, 2011? How are you?
It's been a long time. I'm doing good, though. Excited to play with the new squad, man. I'm always excited to play in Columbus.
Yeah, you've been stuck with me for a long time.
Too long. Way too long.
I've been casting your entire life at this point. And then on the end, Watson, the lone player here from Europe. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Phil Mitchell.
You look great.
You'll understand that one day. But yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to lose every single series. Hopefully it's a good time.
No, you guys are going to be great. I've got a good feeling. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I've had a good feeling every event, but...
All right, well, before we hop in, we got a lot of topics to get through. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk Call of Duty as well, and we like to get you guys involved on Twitter. So the social question here with this group, we asked you guys earlier, who is it? Who's got the best style out of this group of gentlemen? Royalty, I see that look on your face. I saw the first time you were playing. You went from a little nerd to a handsome devil.
I'll give you that.
Don't care.
You probably made the biggest transformation, but I definitely got the best style.
I know y'all seen the tweets. Like,
I mean, my man's in sweatpants, guys. You can't see it.
don't worry, I just copped the Louis belt. Just got back from the store, you know. When it's the game day, you know, you look good, feel good, play good. So you'll see me tomorrow.
These men always wearing chinos. You got me skinny jeans or a rocking thing, man.
I got.
I don't even know what he's saying.
I got my first pair of chinos recently from Banana Republic, and they're fantastic. They're comfortable.
I bet they look awful.
The pockets are great. They look good. You can't see them though.
Awful.
All right, we also like to get your guys' questions. We're going to kick this show off with a question from one of you guys on Twitter. You know, remember, use @MLG with the hashtag MLG Hot Mic. And this is, do you see yourself playing 3 years from now? So we know the lifespan of an esports player or you know, an athlete isn't always the longest. We've seen some early retirements here. Royalty, what do you think? 3 years from now, you still playing 12-12 sensitivity and gunning people?
I mean, if I'm not trash, I'm going to be playing, but I don't know. If I continue to, you know, stay good and whatever, I'm obviously going to continue to play. But, you know, if I'm a burger, I'm going to have to call it quits.
Basically, if somebody still wants me on their team, I'll be involved. Space, what about you? How long is this career going to be going?
I think I'll definitely still be at it, you know. I'm still young, 20 years old. I think I got a little bit left in me. 3 years is nothing.
And Enable, you've got to be developing arthritis at this point.
I've been doing it for a while. I think I've been competing for 10 years now, almost a decade probably.
Holy hell.
Man,
3 years, I'll be 26. I mean, I'll probably still be a top player. So, yeah, I'll probably be playing. Maybe. It depends, though. If Attach retires, I'm definitely playing. But if he stays on my team, I might have to retire early.
Stressful dealing with that young one?
Don't ever team with Attach. That's all I got to say to that.
Well, you're stuck with him for the remainder of the year. Watson, you on the end for Elevate. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'll definitely be playing in 3 years. I'm still young and beautiful. You know what I mean?
You are a good-looking man.
He ain't lying.
I feel fine saying that. Okay, well, hey, we're gonna move along. We're gonna talk a little bit about last week's matches. I want to show, we like to kick it off with a video. This is the final moments. This is basically a 1v1 that decided Fnatic was going to get in. We'll be quiet. We'll let you guys experience this in case you missed it last week. Tommy, how is he alive? 2 versus 2, and he guns Parasite. It's now just on Havoc. Havoc turns it into a 1v1. 20 seconds now on the clock. Sees him. You have to plant the bomb. Wuskin guns him! Wuskin! What? Oh! Havoc smoked like a Christmas ham.
Put it in the oven and bake it. Fnatic's going to the Stage 2 playoffs.
That final shot, painful, as you see EG's dreams of playing for $500,000 and making it into the top 2. That's where they were eliminated. So I want to talk a little bit about, one, Fnatic getting in, but also more that play. Who's the grinder out of this group as far as, you know, playing GBs constantly, 8s, whatever? Who's putting in the time? Because does anyone play?
None of us.
Nearly. Does Havoc play more 1v1s?
Oh, Havoc for sure plays them.
He definitely plays.
Havoc got destroyed. It's as simple as that.
He did, but like, do you think if there's any player that's probably been in that exact scenario in a 1v1? Oh, no, I mean, like, how many times has Havoc probably been in that exact spot? Like, I guess I'm curious, Ian, should he or could he have done something differently, or is that something he thought he had won?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because he has played so many 1v1s in this game, so I know his situational,
Awareness?
Situational awareness is probably really high, but I felt like once he killed Tommy to make it a one-on-one, he had a lot of time to get away, and he was on defense. And there was only 15 seconds, I think, left. He could have played the time and really forced Westkins, I believe, to make a play, but he kind of let Westkins get away with a free one. I really think he could have gotten away, and he would have easily run the round.
All right, I know, Watson, you pride yourself on search and destroy. What did you see in that? Was it just Watson going huge?
I would have won the round straight. I would have started celebrating before even the bomb was 7.5. Anytime, man, anytime.
Well, that was absurd. I mean, the fact that he picked up an NB4, hits perfect shots, just hovers behind the van, one of the more crazy plays. But what was it like, Watson, for you seeing Fnatic get in? Because, you know, last time during Stage 1, Splice was the only European team to qualify in the top 8. Obviously, they end up winning, but, I mean, now, with one team already in from week 1, it looks pretty good. Did you feel a little bit of pride there for Fnatic?
I always do. Like, I love Fnatic. They're probably my favourite team. I love Westkins and Scraps. I don't think anyone can not love them. You know what I mean? But
those dudes are hilarious, man.
They are.
They're hilarious.
They're chill.
There's a bit of jealousy there, obviously, and hopefully, if we win one series, we can maybe win another and do the same this week.
Where's the confidence?
I'm proud of it. Oh, I'm confident, man. Relax.
He's confident they're going to get one series on the board.
All right, let's talk a little bit, just recap from the red group. LG comes in, the heavy favorite. Royalty, in your opinion, I mean, I've seen, I guess, opinions back and forth, but do you think, is it safe to say LG is the best team in the world right now?
Honestly, like, consistency-wise, like, right now, yeah, I'd say they're the best. Especially with Octane, he's been playing great, so, I mean, I have to put him at the top there. So.
Space for you. What makes this LG team so damn good? We know a lot of these guys have teamed together for a long time, but what makes them special, man?
Honestly, just a fast-paced team when it comes to the other 3 classic, Saints and Slack. They kind of play identical. Like, when I catch myself watching that team, it's like no difference in between the players. Like, they'll be on board with Saints. Saints dies, you think you're still watching Saints. If it's either Slack or a classic, they're just really aggressive. And then you have that different change of pace, and Octane kind of post up, looking over his team, and just really talented with a nice shot. You know, he's been putting in work and really showing great performances throughout.
Well, they only lose one series. They take the top spot. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Evil Geniuses. Nabel, for you, they've placed, what, top 8 or top 6 throughout the entire year, really. They've been one of the more consistent teams. What went wrong for this team? I know there were some changes, but what do you think the problem was?
In my personal opinion, I think it has to just be the pacing issues they have on that team. I know they recently picked up Parasite because they thought he'd be a more consistent player, which would, in fact, turn them into a more consistent team. But I think they just have a two different mix of players. They have Havoc, who's super aggressive, and then they have Nagafin, he's pretty aggressive, but he likes to do a lot of weird things. He's kind of like off the wall. But then on the opposite side, Parasite's super slow, and Nameless is like right there with them. So it's hard for them to get in tune, and that's what LG's strength is why they're so good, because they have 3 players that are on the same page, and Octane can take over, and I think that's what EG's lacking.
Space, it looked like you wanted to add something to that.
I'll be the one to say it. I think Jay was the wrong one to replace Study. I think they needed to make another change. And
interesting.
And they're feeling it. I know they are, because I've heard rumors that they tried to make a change but couldn't. So that's all I
agree with
that.
It. Yeah, I don't think Study was the one that got dropped.
And I think that we've heard so many rumors about, God, just about every team in North America. Maybe changes coming in, but guess what? You're all locked in for the long haul now as we get going towards Chance. Okay, so Fnatic. What do you think was the difference, Watson, for this team compared to Stage 1? They weren't able to qualify in Stage 1. What was different here? They managed to get through in the top 2.
Maybe it was because they didn't qualify for Stage 1. You know what I mean? Fnatic are a hungry team. I can't put into words how, especially Westkins and Scraps. Them two have only recently came into the scene, and they're definitely, like, the motivation they have, you can tell from the way they are.
I agree with that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we played them in the Season 1 groups where, we barely got through. We got 2nd place, and they were a solid team then. They were a newly formed team, I think, at that time. But I saw the potential in them. Going into this past week, I thought they were going to get top 2 100%.
Yeah, you saw, I think all year we thought Fnatic had the potential. If anyone in EU maybe just hadn't reached their ceiling, maybe we're starting to see it now. It's the right time to get it done. Last, though, in the group, they managed, I believe, one series victory. That was Mind Freak, the lone APAC team in Stage 2. Anyone have an opinion kind of
Australians are trash.
Okay, that's a strong opinion. But Dens comes in. I've heard such good things about Dens, whether it's from Aches or other North American players, that like we're talking about getting him on a top roster because he's been so good. Didn't really seem like we saw that Dens this weekend.
I don't know. I feel like I don't even know if they should have replaced Excite. I feel like Excite played pretty well.
I agree. Going back to what we said about EG, I think they should have dropped Buzzo, not because he's a bad player, but it's just their pacing issue. I mean, with Excite, he was a more aggressive player, and I felt like he played on the same page as the other three. But with Buzzo, he holds them back when they want to be aggressive a lot of times. So I think that actually hurt Dens. I don't think he was prepared for that.
Yeah, well, something's certainly going wrong. It didn't, had some close games. It didn't look good overall, and they end up bombing out in 4th place. But we're here for the blue group. This is for the 4 teams you see on stage. We've got exciting matches to come. In my opinion, the groups just get crazier from week 1. That was probably the easiest to call, which is insane because it came down to the final match. But I do want to take a look forward. I know for those of you watching Hot Mic, thank you for joining us, but everybody is here to watch the matches this weekend. They kick off tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's going to be Enigma 6 and Elevate. That's Watson versus Royalty kicking off our matches, and you can see them going all the way through. So our final match begins at 8:30. And Enable, I hope you're probably just, you guys, so you came in as the favorites back in Stage 1, and that ended up being, I mean, there are people saying you weren't going to drop a series, kind of talking like LG in week 1, and you guys have a nail-biting run. Hoping to coast a little bit easier this week?
I'm hoping it doesn't go how it went the first time. I mean, the first time we started off so strong, you know, we ended the first day 2-0, and I thought it was going to be a breeze after that. Excuse me. But and then the next 2 days, it just went south really quick. So I'm hoping we can start off strong, but just keep that momentum throughout the whole weekend.
Well, let's talk about the key players to watch from each of your guys' teams. Maybe somebody that's been going off in scrims leading into this, but you joined, what, 2 weeks before Anaheim. Anybody you're really looking forward to having a strong weekend?
Proto's been playing phenomenal, even at Stage 2, and then leading into Anaheim. He had the best KD on our team, actually, at Anaheim, and he's supposed to be our most aggressive player. So I'm looking for him to do this exact same that he did the last 2 events.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that's certainly gone on everyone's radar a lot more over the past couple of months. I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but as far as just becoming a household name and dropping bombs each week, he's been very, very impressive. Space, for you guys.
Definitely Llama. You know, at Anaheim, he had an insane start to the event. Definitely hope he keeps that throughout the whole weekend this time. He had some insane plays against his team, against FaZe.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And he's just been putting on a tear recently. A lot of slaying power, and I'm hoping he continues that this weekend.
Well, I'm going to pick somebody for you, Enable. We talked before this about, can you, maybe for fans at home that aren't familiar, talk about what Zuma's been going through? And just kind of the scenario there with his injury and what you expect from him now.
Yeah, so Zuma had a cyst in his wrist. I believe it's called a ganglion cyst, which it was pushing up against... Very disgusting. He showed me the pics. You don't want to see him. But it was pushing up against one of his veins in his wrist, and it was affecting his thumb. And the doctors told him he had it for like a year, but it just recently started getting worse a couple months ago in the beginning of this game.
So was it pain that he was feeling?
It was a mix between pain and also weakness. So, for example, at group stages in Season 1, he couldn't even like flick the analog stick to throw an uplink ball because his thumb was that weak. He couldn't. So like, if someone was coming across the screen from him, he couldn't react to him. So it was really hard for him. And he finally got it removed just recently, right before Anaheim. So now he's starting to get back to that 100% that he used to be back in AW and even the beginning of Black Ops 3. And I think it's going to go off. I mean, we've been practicing a lot, and he's been. I haven't seen this Zuma since the end of AW, where a lot of people called him best player in the game.
Him and Scump are right up there for me at the end. So we'll see if that's able to change things. Now, Watson, for you guys coming in, I know it's been a frustrating couple of months for sure, but is there somebody you expect just come in with a fire, man, destroy this weekend?
Zed's definitely the player to watch, and hopefully, like at the start of the year, Zed was by far our best player, and for the first, I'd say 3-4 events, Zed was consistently going off, and unfortunately he fell off. No digs, Zed. You were pretty shit.
I like that. No digs.
No, he knows I love him, and he's been playing unreal recently in scrims, and if he can perform, and I'll do my thing as usual, then we'll be good.
Yeah, you constantly go off, don't you? He never has a bad map.
Yeah, that's Botson.
Botson.
What's your mouth?
All right, now I want to talk a little bit about roster changes. So on Hot Mic last week, we obviously talked about the big one. It was the E United FaZe trade. Gunless and Clayster end up swapping spots, but obviously now that we have enable on the desk. I do want to talk about it a bit more because I think some of us probably saw Clayster's 30-minute video he did on it. I sure as hell didn't watch it. That's too long for me. But for you, yeah, for you, I want to hear it from your side, kind of how it all went down.
So, long story short, going into Anaheim, we wanted to make a roster change, and we've talked about it after we got third at Season 1 playoffs. We realized that was our best chance to win all year. You know, we had beaten Optic, beaten LG, and then we lost to Splice and LG again. It's like we got over the hump of that Optic, you know, like losing to them the last couple events, and then we still couldn't, you know, bring it to a win. So we knew we had to make a team change. We knew we had to make a change that would better the team. So we talked about it openly. We said, if anyone's going to get dropped, if the other three think it's a good change, we're going to do it. And we thought that dropping Clay for Gunless or trading Clay for Gunless would be the best for both. For Clay to get a new start and also for us. And it didn't work out for Anaheim. Obviously, Gunless sat out, but we were able to make it work, and now we're here.
Can you talk to me just how difficult that was? Because you guys were one of the longest standing teams, what, just behind Optic by a few
2 years, I think.
Few months, yeah, 2 years. I mean, you guys are basically family at this point. I actually, what I want to ask, I coached you for a little bit back when you were on Curse, and you were kind of the ringleader, the captain, the one directing in game. Was there a little bit of maybe bumping heads between you and Clay? Because that was sort of Clay's role, and I know you have a history of wanting to serve that as well.
So there was a little bit of that. I mean, first off, it sucks always to, you know, trade a player, drop a player after you team them so long. We've built relationships in and out of the game, teaming for 2 years. But most of the public didn't know that, like you said, I basically was the leader of our team, the in-game leader, the captain, whatever you want to call it. And Tommy and Attach tend to agree on, you know, my side of things, on how I think we should be playing certain situations or playing the game in general. And Clay was kind of the outcast. So we did bump heads, but Clay, I guess it was both my fault and his fault. We didn't, like, no one wanted to budge. Even though Tommy and Dylan kind of agree with me, Clay didn't want to agree with me, and so we're on the same page. So basically at the events—
Get him out!
Not like that, but at the events, it just caused us not being on the same page, and you know, it had to happen.
Well, I'm looking forward to see the change between Gunless and Zuma's risk getting better. Excited to see what ceiling you guys can push. Next up, Royalty, I want to talk to you. Let's talk a little bit about joining the new team. I just want to get overall vibes of it, how you felt so far now on Enigma 6.
I mean, they're all really good people. So when I joined, it was pretty easy to get into, like the whole atmosphere with them. Honestly, I consider them kind of like their own little circle. You know, I feel like they stick to, you know, the core set of players that E6 has. So, I mean, going into that, I was kind of like, you know, getting welcomed to a new family, so to speak. So, I mean, I'm really enjoying playing with these guys, and they're really good players. You know, from what I had to, you know, go through from the past, like I wasn't in Season 1. I was, you know, teaming with like ALG, like we were good, but Moach, he's nasty. Moach is nasty, but I don't know if Clint agrees, but I don't know. It's just a good change of, I guess, scenery. So.
Well, can you break it down for me a little bit? Like you placed what, fourth to kick off, fourth to kick off the year at Vegas. What's maybe different from this team and group of guys versus that Allegiance roster?
Consistency. Like it was just like an on and off. Like I didn't know if someone was gonna do bad in the event, like, or someone was doing good. This team is like everyone kind of, you know, plays their role. Everyone kind of, you know, does what they need to do every event. I mean, at least, you know, Anaheim and online. So, I mean, if I'm looking for like them to do the exact same, because they're pretty consistent online and they're consistent on LAN as well. So. I'm excited. All
right, man. Excited to see how you guys do this weekend. Next up, Watson. I know we've heard a bit from Raided's POV because he's vocal. I want to hear from you kind of how everything went down, because you guys qualify, right? Red Reserve does not. Raided leaves right after that. You guys end up picking up Desire. Can you just talk me through the situation from your POV?
Well, even at stage 1, Reese was always going to leave. Rated was always going to leave, so we knew that. And I guess it was kind of like a free. Us three just doing our thing, then Reese doing his own thing, which wasn't the best in terms of like us, because obviously we went to the last day and I think we were Norton 3 or Norton 4 and we had to win 1 game or 2. I can't even remember, and we just Jordan, the X Factor Reed, turned up. So, but then obviously picking up Ben, initially it was we didn't really. Okay, I guess we thought about it. He was one of our only options, but we didn't have any MV4 player, so we went to Anaheim with no MV4 player. So obviously we're going to play pretty awful. Then
you have no chance at that point.
Well, talk to me about have you guys had to change up roles a little bit on the team then?
So
I imagine.
that's where I came and I decided to take up the MV4 role. The others don't really want to do it. Zed's more of an aggressive player. Zed just can't use it. Nah, he can. Zed's probably the second best with it. But Desire's a bit too stubborn. Anyhow, I'll fit into that role, and I I'm a natural AR, and I never really acknowledged it at first.
You're a natural everything.
But at first, I never really thought I never really wanted to do it until I started doing it, and I started picking up a few kills and doing what I needed to do, and they were pushing out my cuts in the way I needed them to, and I kind of like doing it. Well, I love doing it now. I'll get MVP.
All right.
I've something in the next 2 years, but just.
Hey, everybody gets, I believe, an All-Star and MVP. I actually just made that up. That was in stage 1. So you can be the MVP in the hearts of us.
Are you not confident in me?
I am confident in you.
Oh,
I'm excited. All right, next up, Space. Let's talk a little bit. So you went into Anaheim under Bittersweet, had to go through relegation, had to go through the open bracket. Talk to me a little bit about that run, because I think we all knew you guys had potential, but I think you even blew the doors off what people were expecting.
Yeah, we definitely thought we had more potential than we showed too. That's the crazy thing. You know, we qualified. That was our main focus, and then going into Anaheim, the pool we were in, we ended up going through clean 4-0, and it surprised a lot of people. That's what got people talking. And then after that, you know, we kind of slowed down in the champ bracket, the bracket run. We ended up losing to Spice. That was a tough series. Close games, though. They're a great team, nothing to be mad about. But it was unfortunate when we ended up losing to, who was it, Red Reserve. I don't think that was acceptable at all, and we have a lot more potential than that, and we want to show that this weekend.
Well, let's talk just for you a little bit. How frustrating has it been? Because I know a couple times in your career I've seen you kind of get the short end of the stick as far as, you know, you're the guy that gets dropped when everyone else comes together, or you know, you've been kind of the outside looking in on the Pro League as of late. What's it feel like for you to kind of be back in the mold again?
It feels great. It's an awful feeling being that guy that's watching, especially when you know what you're capable of. And, you know, I've done this plenty of times to where I just bounce back, so it's kind of like I have that confidence that I have the will inside of me to come back and be back in the league. I think this is about my second or third time bouncing back from getting short end of the stick. So it's definitely a great feeling to be able to do it once again, prove everyone wrong.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Ghost Gaming. You guys switch right after Anaheim, basically. I think you were talking about it during Anaheim, that there was going to be a change coming. Ghost, new to Call of Duty. We got some photos of you. I believe that the first ones, you guys, it looks like you're in an office kind of watching VOD. Talk to me about a little bit what's going on here.
This is at their headquarters in Irvine, California. They had us go out there for, I think it was about a week. We were out there boot camping, and this was in one of their conference rooms. We were pulling up VODs. We'd wake up early in the morning, watch film before we start our day on scrimming other teams, and it was really good for our team. Helped out a lot, and we all came to the same page on what we needed to do this weekend.
And here, you guys watching
That's the setup.
Hot Mike.
Yep.
I'll be on. That's why you're on the show. I saw this tweet, and I was like, he's coming on, man. This is a Hot Mike fan.
I had someone, right? I mean, I guess Mike's the best option.
They want me.
And talk to me.
They want a real one.
But before this, you were mentioning a little bit. I don't think it's announced yet, but I believe you're able to talk about it. There are some plans coming up for you and the team. Fill me in.
Yeah, it's definitely dope to talk about now that I'm able to. So right after stage 2, we're moving out to Hollywood Hills, California. That's where it's located. And it's a 16,000 square feet home. And it's going to be available to our team, the CSGO team, and the Gears of War team. And it's dope talking about personal trainers. There's an in-house gym. I'm looking forward to that. And there's going to be practice rooms.
Gym, baby.
Yeah, I got to get... Let's not talk about it. Not the right time right here, but
you forgot the most important part. There's a personal chef.
Yeah, personal chef as well. That's definitely dope. I'm going to be eating good.
Then you'll definitely need the gym.
But on top of that, practice rooms, they want it to be set up to where we have a room where we're playing on a LAN atmosphere, and then obviously we have our own setups in our room as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Excited to see what you're gonna do this weekend. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a game here. This is sort of like a Europe versus North America. There's a lot of lingo that gets lost in translation at times. I had Tommy yelling at me. We're asking where the bin was. I didn't know what that was. Apparently, it's a trash can. I was incredibly confused. The first thing we're gonna discuss is French fries or chips. Watson, why are they called chips?
Well, yeah, I don't get that.
We'll state this first. Obviously, it's the English language, not the American language. So whatever you've changed is on you, not us.
Yeah, actually, the first time I believe I was in London, I ordered fish and chips or something, and I thought they were going to be chips. This was just a couple of years ago. I had no idea.
You got French fries.
I was excited because French fries are the greatest thing in the entire world.
French fries sounds way better than chips. I don't get it.
It does.
I get it why they changed it.
All right, next up. I don't even know. I didn't write these. Elevator or lift? Is that you call them elevators lifts?
I think we call them both of them. We'll say they're both. So whoever's came up with that then.
All right, so this one doesn't count.
Yeah,
Let's
disregard that.
Let's
Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Let's just skip that one. All right, next up, apparently boy bands. So we've got One Direction or the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
Backstreet Boys, easy.
Backstreet Boys.
I'll have to go with the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Legend.
I'm gonna have to go with that, dude.
You look like you could be on One Direction, though.
Well, that's a good thing.
That's too much, Gab. You're giving him too much.
Wait, my ego's massive right now.
Do you have a nice singing voice?
Do I have a nice what?
A singing voice.
Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
Nah.
I would have been blown away had you actually sang here. All right, next up, best series: Harry Potter or Game of Thrones?
I'd have to go with Harry Potter.
I'm a Harry Potter.
Likewise.
That's Game of Thrones.
After
That's Game of Thrones.
Anaheim,
Come
I stayed a
on.
couple extra
Nah, I'm
days.
going with Game of Thrones.
I got a Harry Potter wand at Universal.
You have a wand?
I got a wand.
Hey, at Champs, by the way, it's there. Who you guys want to go to Harry Potter World? I will dress up as a wizard and get that.
I'm down. I'm all for that.
I've only seen one Harry Potter, the first one. It's the only one I've ever seen.
Read the books, man. It's the greatest book.
I haven't
don't
read.
read.
Nah, you gotta watch
I
it.
haven't
can't
seen
read.
Game of
You
Thrones.
can't read? Is everybody caught up on Game of Thrones? It's
I haven't
back
seen
next
it.
week,
Yeah,
right?
nah.
I haven't seen
You've never seen it?
so-
All right, so you've got like 7 days to watch 6 seasons or
seasons,
whatever it
Watch
is.
7,000 hours.
Nah, it's addicting. It's addicting.
Oh, yeah.
You can
It
kill it.
starts off
I'm on the
slow.
cog
Starts
grind.
off
You
slow.
guys are bad influences.
All right, after Champs, then you can catch up. That'll be a real treat for you. And then finally, we have actresses. We've got Blake Lively from the USA and Emma Watson from the UK.
I'm awful with names, but I know who Emma Watson is. So I'll go Emma Watson.
I'm in love.
I'll have to go.
Yeah, it's Emma
She's
Watson.
great.
Emma
Nah,
Watson.
it
Yeah,
is
Emma
Emma
Watson.
Watson.
Emma Watson, and also got to say Emma Watson.
I think
Emma Watson.
it's safe to assume she's probably watching. And if you are,
Hopefully.
She's
Give
sophisticated.
her the
like
wink,
myself.
Watson.
I love you.
Give her the wink.
Oh, wait, all for you, man.
Apologize to my girlfriend on there. Okay, next up. Ian, we're going to talk a little bit about this because I think you're insane. But speaking with the guys before this, apparently some people agree with you. Explain to me your theory on life. You believe that we're all on the damn Matrix.
Listen, I'm not insane. First off, people who think I'm insane, they just don't understand the true point of life. I believe that life is a simulation. Everything that we do, we're in the Matrix. It's all pre-thought.
He's right. Yeah.
And I swear, listen, there's probably been stuff out there, Maven, that you've like encountered and you've been like, that's a really weird coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's simulation, I'm telling you.
Give me an example.
Okay. Let me think. So at one of the last events, I was talking to Bryce Vicento.
Okay.
Can I talk about movies? I was watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was in the hotel room, right, and the 50 Cent movie Get Rich or Die Trying was on. I was with my girlfriend. Okay. And she turns on to it, and I'm like, oh, keep this on. She's like, what is this? She didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, you never seen Get Rich or Die Trying? She's
That's
like, oh, this movie's terrible. Right? She says that. First off, I was in disgust, kicked her out of the room. But then, no lie, 2 minutes later, Vicento calls me on the phone out of nowhere, and he goes, yo, I got a story to tell you, because he believes in simulation as well. And I was like, okay, let me hear it. He goes, I was talking to some caster. I think he was talking to like Momo or something like that. And Momo was like, yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying, I've never seen it. And Bryce was like, what? That movie was on like right now. And then Bryce said that Momo said that the movie was terrible too. At the same time.
I guess that's just because it's on the same time in the team.
but okay.
Thank you for saying it.
I get it. That's a coincidence. Hold up. But how weird is it that at the same time my girlfriend says it, Vicento calls me out of nowhere to tell me the same thing?
All right, it is crazy. Something here is. I want to look. You're very public in this opinion. So let's take a look. I actually grabbed some of the tweets from Enable where you like to remind everyone that we are currently living in a simulation. I think you tweet about this just about every day. Life is a simulation. You can't convince me otherwise. Bro, today has once again proven to me that life is a simulation. I should write a book on it. You've already claimed that you can't read.
I could be a good author, though, if someone wrote it for me.
You have to look for it, maybe like a ghostwriter or something.
Exactly.
And this one, I found this very funny, though. So you talked about a computer simulation. I like what Pac-Man said. Oh, really? Go run through traffic like Frogger and tell me if it feels like a simulation. I'm assuming you did not try that.
I did.
I made it safely.
And it is a simulation.
I made it safely through with a blindfold on.
Hey.
Is there anyone that agrees with him on this? Oh, actually, no. This is the final tweet. Can you explain to me what this even means? I actually just found this as I was looking through. I looked up at enable and simulation.
Well, that guy's just crazy.
He's definitely crazy, man.
You're not helping my cause with that.
No.
You could have put a better one out there.
That didn't make any sense. I was just flabbergasted, so I wanted to include the yellow mustard.
Listen, I'm sure there's people out there that are on my side with this.
Is anyone here on the desk on his side?
I am.
Okay.
At Anaheim, I had an experience. I was actually FaceTiming Nameless, right? Like, I wanted to meet up with him. I was trying to see what he was doing. Come out the elevator, FaceTiming. Literally hit the corner, first person I see, nameless. I was mind blown. I showed him the phone and everything.
Out of all the people he could have seen, Maven, there's 7 billion people in this world, and he saw nameless as he was FaceTiming nameless.
It was crazy.
You guys remind me of like the flat earthers.
No, see, they're crazy.
Hey, shout out to Kyrie. What Kyrie say about the world? It's flat or some shit.
Yeah, no.
MVP right there.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Are you on my side that this life is...
I don't know. I don't know about the whole simulation thing. I don't know if I can get on board with that.
Listen, you will eventually. Once your brain is developed.
You're just behind.
Oh, so it's the high IQ.
Exactly.
I agree. Then I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your guys' brains are simulated. We're all characters in a game.
There's one requirement. You have to have full head of hair to be able to believe in simulation. That's probably why you don't get it, man.
Yeah, you can't.
No hair on your head.
It is shining today, but I'll give you that.
Speaking of my giant bald head, the first question to kick off the show.
Holy moly.
It's awful. The first question to kick off the show was about style. Now, we know I do have some. Look at me.
All I'm going to say is y'all seen the tweets.
I look damn good.
Seen the votes.
I want to see what people had to say, though. So the question was, which of you guys has the best style? We asked this earlier. We're going to see what people had to say. Because I know Spacely's always going on about it.
This is biased, by the way. I'll let you know.
Yeah, this is literally a kid that has phase up in his bio.
Does he really? I
want to point something. I created that hashtag.
Hands
Just
down.
let it be known.
We'll let it go, but look.
Enable would wear some Gucci flip-flops to champs.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Good try.
It's all biased.
He's not wrong.
It's
all American people saying it.
I'm roasting you.
I have a sophisticated style.
This might be painful for some of you guys, but we tweeted this out to the whatever 2 million followers that MLG has, and Enable was the only one that actually got a comment about it. Where did Attach just come from?
Bro, you see, this is why you can't. That's why I don't like teaming with him.
He's just seeking attention.
I know.
Like,
why is he still wearing
he's not
those
on the show?
New Balances?
Like, they didn't want you on the show, Dylan.
Listen, Maeve, I was trying to get him off the team so bad, man.
Oh, I know. You might be able to still get Clay back. I'll talk to like League Ops.
Clay, if you're out there, Clay, if you're out there, get the DMs. You got to fly out tonight, though.
All right, we had some questions now from the social side as well, just to ask you guys. I have no idea what these are. Well, let's take a look at what the first question is. What do you want to ask these guys? All right, what's okay? This is from Shots FPS. What's your best and worst purchases you've ever made? Royalty, we'll start with you. Is there anything you can think of? Best or worst? If you can't think of both, you don't need to.
Honestly, worst purchase, probably like I bought an Armani exchange jacket, and like a year later I was like, dude, like why did I buy this? It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. So I mean, that's probably my worst purchase. But best purchase, I bought a Stone Island jacket. Actually, like about a month ago. I don't know. Maybe Watson probably knows what Stone Island is.
Yeah, I know what it is, man. Don't worry.
Nice.
Yeah, I know he does. So
I don't know what either of those things were.
no, it's a nice jacket. That's probably my best purchase though I've made. So.
Should have worn it on the show.
I know.
You're looking as nice as me. This is from like Kmart or something.
Looks good. It fits your style.
Yeah, you're swagging.
You're like Kmart level style.
Yeah, I don't. What's my style? I look like that guy from that hosted that briefcase show. What's his name?
Oh, Howie Long.
I look like
I love that show.
Like Howie Long.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but I'm hosting Hot Mike while he's hosting that. Okay, let's go. Best, worst purchases.
Best, I don't know if this is a good one, but I just appreciate them a lot, especially I travel a lot. So my Bose headphones, I like those. And then worst purchase, definitely my Robin jeans. I've spent a lot of money
What about the
on
True
those.
Religions that went bankrupt?
Nah, I got rid of those.
Okay.
They just my shoes for some Robin. Shout out to Fetty on that line. Only some people relate and understand what I just said.
Enable, you're up. Hey, well, and we'll see if your gunless purchase works out. Maybe that'll be your best.
It's a big purchase. My worst purchase, probably when I was 16. I was new still into the competitive gaming scene. I just got second at an event, and I got a good amount of money. I bought a pretty new BMW.
Ooh.
When I was 16, junior, just got my license. I ended up getting in an accident literally a week later. So it was terrible.
I had a 98 Camry. I got in accidents too and just didn't fix it.
Oh, that's what I did. I had like marks all down the side of my car. It was still cool though. I got voted best car in high school.
There you go.
Hey.
And the best purchase, went to the movies last night. I got chocolate chip cookie dough bites.
They were fire.
They
I
were
tried one.
amazing.
That sounds remarkable right now.
They were good.
It's tasty.
I might see Spider-Man tonight and have to get some of those.
Baby Driver was all right. That's what
Baby
we
Driver was
saw.
fantastic. I enjoyed
it's
that
really good.
quite a lot. Fantastic music, some great chasing. I actually saw that in 40X. There was like smoke going on. So get this. This is off topic completely, but have you guys ever seen 40X?
No,
It's
I've heard
basically-
about it.
Yeah, the chairs like move. There's fog. We had never done it before. I go with my girlfriend. We sit down and they have a little, I guess, trailer that kind of introduces you to what 40X is in case you've never done it. I kid you not, in the opening 5 seconds, water shot out and hit us both in the
Really?
face. Cat screamed so loud. It was incredible. Just a spray of water just hits you in the face.
I got to experience that.
It was very
That
weird.
That sounds
dope.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Very weird, but it was enjoyable for that type of film. Watson, your last one up. Best and worst purchases.
Worst purchase was definitely a train ticket to Sheffield, the event recently. Anyone who went to the event will understand how awful Sheffield is. Sorry.
What? Litfield. That's what my
Litfield.
Dog, my dog calls it. Litfield.
Definitely not Litfield. And my best purchase is probably my trainers I'm wearing now, my Valentinos.
Valentinos.
Oh, do
No, those are clean.
No, they are.
Show me these.
I?
Wait, hey, I got you.
Those are like those got studs on it.
What size are these?
Yeah.
Those are nice. Those are nice. I like them. All right, we'll keep on moving forward here. We've got another question. What is it going to be this time? Okay, this is from Trey Zero. Zero, MVP of Splice. Why does Watson's 10 minutes mean 1 hour in real time?
I'm a busy guy, man. I've got things to do.
I respect
You
that.
know what I mean? Like, I can't always play. I can. But I can't always play COD, man. I've got priorities, which are absolutely nothing. But you know.
Is this referring to scrims where you make Splice wait like an hour?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I can't help it. I'm sorry, man. It's never gonna change.
Okay, well, we talked a little bit about the style of our what do you call yourself, wavy?
I'm sophisticated, Maven.
I'm trendy.
Don't
Like,
put
look at me.
Wavy's a little kid thing.
I already see it.
Sophisticated.
I'm trendy.
No, you're not.
Watch. Watch. I see.
No, you're not.
I think you're trendy.
Bring it up.
But we do want to we want to see who wore it best. Socks and sandals, apparently one of the
I am
better
trendy.
combinations for players. We've got
Who does that?
Spacely,
Who puts a neck pillow on their head? Me. I'm trendy.
and that's JCap with the sock and sandal combination as well.
not
It
about
looks ridiculous. Why do you guys wear this?
It's just comfortable, man. While being trendy.
I give it to Space, though,
Thank you.
for that pick.
Nah, for that
I
pick,
give it- I give it to
100%. It's
Space.
Mike.
Because
Thank you.
Cap needs he needs like a stylist or something. Cap,
We need to get Cap a girlfriend. I don't know how to.
yeah,
Yeah,
Cap, you
bro.
need a girl in your life.
Wow. Me and Cap be lurking, though. We have a lot of conversations when it comes to women.
Cap's gonna find that perfect woman one day,
If my girlfriend's watching, I don't talk to Cap about no women. Just in case.
and he's gonna disappoint someone. Okay, we had I believe one more question. This one was for Enable. This is directly for you, buddy. For Enable, what's it like playing with no thumb?
It's like dapping them up. with
Like
no
that.
thumb.
So
I've never seen it. Show me quickly. Okay.
Touch it.
Well, before you answer the question, before you talk on it a little bit, there is obviously some history there. We did a magnified piece with you, kind of talking about it in your career. No excuses was the theme of it. Let's take a look if you haven't seen it.
There is no room for excuses in life. Winning takes time, sacrifices, and effort. Don't believe me? Let me prove it. It took 3 years for me to have my first taste of winning and 4 years for me to rise to the top. In 2013, I took a leap of faith and left my game behind. I began competing in Call of Duty, and few believed I could ever win. Instead of giving up, I decided to go all in. I joined my first major organization, and I climbed the ranks again. 12 years, 8 games, 9 championships. There's no room for excuses in life. Trust me, I could have the biggest excuse of them all.
So, Enable, talk to me. Actually, I think people at home would kind of want to hear how did it happen? Because I know we've seen a lot of people have seen the video. Can you talk to me a little bit about what went down?
So there's been obviously a bunch of stories on it. Unfortunately, it's not a cool story. It's not like I got bitten off by a shark. I wasn't like in a fight with a shark and it bit it off. You know those exercise bikes, the ones that are standstill?
Yeah.
So when I was a baby, I think 1, maybe 2 years old, I put my thumb in the chain while my brother was on the other side And he was just pushing the pedals with his hands. He was, I think, 6 or 7 at the time, so he was still young. And I had no idea what I was doing. He obviously had no idea what I was doing either, and it just cut it right off. Yeah, it hurt. No, I actually don't. I don't remember.
I think it's incredible, just the level that you compete at. It's absolutely unbelievable to me. I'm actually curious. I want to take a look at the lighter side of this. I saw Tash's tweet yesterday talking about like a firework injury or something like that. Have you ever pranked anybody?
I haven't pranked anyone, but for the longest time in school, like middle school to high school, I did tell people that it got bit off by a baby shark, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever.
That was gonna be my next question. If you've ever like exaggerated, like, oh yeah, I was in Hawaii surfing and saved a child that was also for some reason surfing from a great white shark.
I didn't portray myself as a hero, but I did say I fought a shark. I was like, yeah, I was fighting baby sharks out in Hawaii, and one just got my thumb.
Actually, chick magnet.
I did say I got jumped. And someone sliced it off in a fight, but I was like, but you should have seen him. You seen the other guy. I didn't look that bad.
You look like a brawler.
Exactly. But I don't think people believe that, so I go with the shark.
All right. Well, guys, we're excited for this weekend. We've got a lot of great matches. I do want to talk about champs, though, because once we get through stage 2, we've got our weekly matches. We then have the $500,000 playoff. Right after that, $1.5 million on the line for COD Champs. You can buy your tickets at mlg.tv/CWL Champs. I believe MLG tweeted out earlier, there's some discounts for people that want to go to, I think, Universal Studios, like Harry Potter World.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's a Disney World, I think, there as well. Are you guys planning vacations around this as well, or is it strictly business?
I'll probably go to Universal again. Did that at Anaheim. That was dope. Obviously going to plan some type of vacation with a couple other pros. We talked about it going somewhere, but that'll probably be one of the spots we hit up, one of those discounted spots that MLG got with.
That's going to be fun, man. First time on the East Coast for champs. I do want to remind you guys of the schedule for tomorrow. You'll be tuning in at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's day 1 of the CWL Global Pro League Stage 2, Week 2. It's Group Blue. That was a mouthful, but it's going to be exciting.
Got bars, man.
These matches are going to be intense. We're excited to get underway. But, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on Hot Mic. It's been fun. Any final thoughts from anybody?
Shout out to Insult and the rest of Europe. That's all.
Shout out to all of Europe?
Most of Europe.
Bits of it.
Bits of Europe, not Paris.
Space?
Wrap it up, Dan. That's all I got to say.
Wrap it up, Dan.
Wrap it up, Dan.
We're wrapping it up. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching.